Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Chivalry, and this is the second part to the Guide to Becoming a Better Player, a little series I have here for Chivalry. The first video, a lot of people really enjoyed it and were benefited from it. So I figured now that it went free to play, or well, had a free weekend, I should say. There's a lot of new players, and I've been playing it again a bit. So I figured I would put together a second part here. So it's gonna go over a whole lot of new stuff that has changed. A good chunk of stuff kind of has changed since the last video I made, and there's also a decent amount of stuff that is just different. Like I play a lot differently now than I did. So yeah, I'm just gonna go over some stuff I didn't go over before, and just give you some more tips like I did in the last video. So if you didn't see the last video, go ahead and click on the screen, that little button that I'm gonna put there. Go check out that video first, because it's going to have some important stuff that I'm not going to go over in this video. So, here we go. So the first thing that you really need to recognize in this game is that winning really means nothing at all. And that's for like free-for-all and deathmatch. I mean, I don't really play team objective. I pretty much only play free-for-all, sometimes deathmatch. But it really doesn't mean a single thing to be on the top of the leaderboards. And here's just some proof that I can do that. I'm not trying to make excuses or anything. But I don't have a problem topping the leaderboard when I want to, but I don't really try to, because it doesn't mean anything. All that means is that you are the best at stealing everybody else's kills. Because all you do is swing into a group of almost dead players and get 2 kills. So what is that? Is that skill? No, it's not. So, winning means nothing. So if you're focused on topping the leaderboards every match, then all you have to do is swing the longest weapon. Just go Vanguard's Y-hander and swing into groups of almost dead players, and you'll be number 1. It doesn't mean anything, obviously. There's no skill involved there. So, that's not what you want to focus on. Score on the leaderboard means very, very little in this game, at least in free-for-all or deathmatch or whatever. So, just be aware of that, and just focus more on skill and more on 1v1 fighting and maybe 1v2 fighting, you know, get into it, get used to fighting with multiple people. Just don't focus on leading the match, or you're going to be kind of a scrub lord. So yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it for that. So this video is going to have a heavy focus on movement and strafing and stuff like that, because that's something people don't really take much advantage of when they should, because that can really win you most battles. Just moving correctly and making the right moves, moving around to get around blocks and shields and stuff like that, that'll win you a lot of fights. So that's going to be the main focus of this. So for example, you can see here, the next clip, this guy swings at me and I back up and I avoid it, and then he's vulnerable, so I'm able to kill him and take him out with the final hit. So right here I fake forward and he stabs and misses, and then he's vulnerable and I stab him and kill him. This is how I win a significant amount of my fights. So when you see me fight this guy, I'll do the same thing. I'll fake forward and make him look like he's going to be able to hit me, and then I'll back up just in time to get out of the way. So the fake forward is kind of what I do all the time, and it really works really well. So right there he missed again because I kept backing up, and then that one he made contact, but then right there another fake forward and he misses again. So that's, in addition to him missing and being vulnerable, that's a bunch of wasted stamina as well. So when you go for an attack and you miss like this, your best bet is to combo it up like that, so that way you're not vulnerable, plus they sometimes in this case they'll block like that, and so you'll be able to get a free hit in. So this shows off some of the movement I use here. So if this guy were to use a shield, that quick step to the right at the last second to stab around would have probably gone right around his shield. And I also did a small little fake forward there again with the same guy, and it left him vulnerable and he died because of it. Another thing I do all the time, I guess you could call it, would be like acting ignorant or just acting like you're not paying attention or something. So that's what I do with this guy. Like I act like I'm not really caring about what he's gonna do, and then I come up and stab him right away, my fastest attack right away. And he's not expecting it because he thinks he's gonna have the jump on me because I'm not really ready or I don't look like I'm ready. So that's another thing that really helps me a lot of the time to get extra hits on people. And so right here you'll see another movement thing. I hit him and then I go around to his back. So if he were to be able to get his weapon out again and block, it wouldn't matter because I'm behind him now. It also makes me less vulnerable because instead of having my back to all the enemies, I'm turned around so I have all the enemies right in my view, so I'm not risking being hit in the back, which you can't really afford to do as a man-at-arms. So this is another kind of fake maneuver I do a lot. You run at someone and then you turn away and then you can hear them swing behind you because they thought you're going to keep going, obviously, so they swing, so that's wasted stamina and it leaves themselves open if you were to be actually close enough to swing while they're still recovering. So with this guy, I'm constantly going to the right. I'm constantly right there. I'm going over and over to the right, constantly to the right, and because I'm trying to get stabs around his blocks, I'm trying to make him have as difficult of a time as possible. And a lot of people aren't usually used to having a man-at-arms, a super fast class, all up right in their face and trying to go around them and stuff like that. So it makes it really difficult for him. And then here, I move to the left, really big left step here to avoid having him hit me and to get the final hit. So right here, boom, straight to the left, misses the attack, and I get the final hit in. So that's something I'll do a lot and something that works really well against most players. So one of the most important things to be able to do as an archer is to be able to handle yourself in melee situations, which I prefer daggers for because a lot of people can't really handle daggers very well. So there's another movement to the right to avoid being stabbed. That's really easy to do with stabs. So two other things as melee with an archer is timing and aggressiveness. So timing is making sure you get it out, whip it out in time to not be hit and to be able to block their initial attack. And the aggressiveness is when you have a dagger, it's tough for people to handle that when you're stabbing at them constantly. So just constant stabbing over and over with the dagger will really throw people off and give you the advantage most of the time. So this is another example of just being really aggressive with the dagger. This works best on the newer players, new to moderate skill level. The higher level players don't really fall for it as much, and they'll be able to block you and get a hit in. So you got to be careful. You still have to know when to block and to be aware of your surroundings and all that. This is another being aggressive example right here. And when you're in multiple people fights like this, multiple person fights, you usually want to take out the people that are most vulnerable, but in this case the more bloody guy was kind of backing up, so it wasn't a big deal. There's a big movement right here to avoid the swing and get the kill right there, just like from before, so that's a big part of what I do. So this ties together the deceiving and the timing part I was talking about earlier. So I'm deceiving this guy, making him look like I'm not paying attention, and then I take my dagger out right away and just stab him really aggressively. So he's not expecting it, so he fails really badly. So it's not only really important that you keep track of everybody around you, it's also important to keep track of who's the most vulnerable, so that you can tell that by who's the bloodiest. So another step to the side to kill that guy. He was really bloody, so a quick stab would take care of him so that I can get back to the other guys, because when you have multiple people fighting around you like that, you really want to focus on taking someone out so that you have less people to deal with. And here, another thing is movement, like crouching and ducking, actually is really effective a lot of the time. When you're not able to block, when you're in a vulnerable situation and someone's gonna attack you, your best bet usually would be to crouch and try to duck out of it. So that'll work some of the time, and that'll be your best bet when you're in a vulnerable situation and being attacked. So this is another good example of movement and deception here. So I move like crazy on this guy and he doesn't know what's going on, and I end up getting easy kill on him. And then here's another deception. I kind of look like I'm AFK for a second, and then I go in for the quick stab. And I'll do that again right here, paying attention to the guy to my left. And I look like I'm not paying attention, and then I go for the swing and get the easy hit on him, and he dies. So it's really effective most of the time. So when you're charging an archer, you want to pay attention to their attack so that you know when to step out of the way. And also, as an archer or as a man-at-arms, you don't want to challenge a heavier class, meaning you don't want to attack them at the same time that they're attacking you. So what you'll want to do is wait for them to attack you, block it, and then attack after that, because you can't afford to trade swings, trade hits like that. You just don't have the health or the armor. A lot of the time you'll get one-shotted, and you'll definitely get two-shotted, so you have to be really careful with that. So it shows more of the fakes and more of how you can take advantage of fakes like that, charging forward and then stepping back and letting them swing, and then you get the free stab in this case. And also here's another dodging the projectiles, knowing to move. And it's important to pay attention to your health, because in that case he challenged me but didn't have a problem because my health was low enough for his hit to kill me. So in most cases that won't happen, but if your health is low enough, then they'll be able to do that. Another thing I do a lot is attack in a direction just to get out of the way. So if I miss like this, I'll attack with my combo, complete the combo over in a different direction so that guy doesn't hit me. Here's another movement. I was stepping to the left just slightly and then back over to the right, so he missed the stab, and stabs are really easy to miss. This also shows how I keep people in my sight. So I see that guy coming up in the left side, so I jump over here while blocking to get them both right in front of me so I don't risk being attacked or being hit in the back by one of them, and I'm able to pick who I want to attack, or just be able to block who I need to, so because I have full view of everyone. So that's really important to not get hit in the back, because I know getting hit in the back is really a pain in the ass a lot of the time. So the key to not having that happen is just to have everybody just know where everyone around you is and be able to focus on what everyone's doing. Movement is so significant because it's the only thing you can do a lot of the time when you mess up. So like that, the only way I could have avoided that stab because I swung too early was to move out of the way, and I did, and I completed the combo and got the hit in. So, and this guy's challenging me. Like I said before, you don't want to challenge me or challenge a heavier armored person as a lighter armored person. You want to wait for them to attack and block first. So another thing I've been doing a lot is kind of a different sort of feint. So when you're attacking someone and you guys are kind of blocking back and forth over and over again, a good way to get past that is to feint. Well, not feint, but act like you're going to attack. So you get right in their face. So right after this, I'm right in his face, I'm going to attack, and it forces him to block like that. So then we trade and he dies, because you shouldn't really be trading like that. So this is just another quick example of movement and being aware of your surroundings. So now I have these two guys on both sides of me. So I know the guy behind me is going to want to try to stab me in the back, so I swing around and hit him. And then right here, it's important, I missed the attack, so I have to kind of stay back. And the best way for me to stay back and try not to get hit was to crouch and kind of back up at the same time. Here's another example of that sort of feint thing I was talking about. And this is more about being aware of your surroundings. So we have this guy running in here in the yellow, and then the guy off to the right. So I don't want to go over to the left. I want to deal with the guy on the right, or he's going to hit me. So I hit him, and he continues charging, so he's not a threat anymore. And you also want to take care, like I said earlier, of the bloodier people, of the people that are going to die quickest, so that you can deal with the other people. So that would be these two. The weak man-at-arms and the bloodied-up vanguard die really easily. So I can turn around and take care of these other guys right here. So these two clips show again the kind of juking maneuver that I'll do. So I'll step to the left here and then quickly go over to the right and swing to the right, and that hits right around his shield. And same with this guy. So I'll charge him, and I'll take a step to the left and then quickly swing to the right. So he kind of moves his body to the right and makes it easier for me to stab around him. So a really big part of being successful in this game is to be able to read the people that you're fighting. You have to be able to tell the kinds of players you're fighting, whether they're going to spam attack over and over again, or if they're going to be kind of timid, or if they're not good at the game, or if they're really good at the game, so you have to be careful, or you have to just spam attack or something like that. Because you really have to change how you're playing. You have to adjust your playstyle so that you can actually beat them and not keep getting killed by them or something. So these guys with the big axes are really more aggressive than anything, so I just constantly swing at them because they don't block very often, so I'm just swinging at them all the time, and that makes them lose a lot quicker. So this is a combination of deception and movement right here. So I look off to the left just before I attack him, and then I'm circling around him the whole time, so he's all screwed up and he has no idea what's going on. And he just gets wrecked. So just the movement's really key, and then the deception whenever you can works really nicely for you.
Thank you, brother.
So this shows kind of the faking thing. So I go towards him and then I run off to the left to let him swing and then come back around and hit him. So it leaves him open, it makes him really vulnerable, and I do the same thing right afterwards. So that works a lot of the time.
Thanks.
So this shows more of keeping track of everyone around you and making sure to take out the most vulnerable first, so that you have a better chance of surviving against multiple people at once. So we got the bloodied guy and the man-at-arms, so we're going to go for the man-at-arms and then for the bloodied guy. It's just important to make sure everyone that's near you is in front of you and not behind you or anything like that, so you can keep track of everybody. So once again, this shows the significance of being able to maneuver and strafe properly, and just the movement, how important the movement is, really. It's also really important to be able to recognize when someone's going to attack or block. So for example, after you kick someone, or after you get kicked, it's way more likely that they're going to attack you. They're going to want to kick you and then attack right afterwards. So you can expect to have to block right after kicking, or you can mess up your enemy, because if you kick and then like rush towards them, they'll block, do like a psyched out block, and then you'll get a free hit in. So you have to be able to tell those kinds of situations, and you'll be doing pretty well. So this clip was shown in the intro, and what you can do with a lot of people with swings with a lot of weapons is duck right underneath them. So this guy spams left mouse button with the X, so I'm like, alright, I'll just duck underneath it, because it's really easy to do. It's not too difficult to time, especially with this weapon where it's really slow. So a little pro tip here: you might not want to do this with every weapon, like the hammer polearm here, because it doesn't work so well when you swing it in a diagonal formation. So this clip shows exactly what I was talking about with the kick and the fake kind of forward here. So I'll kick, then rush him and not attack, and he'll kind of get psyched out, and then I'll get the hit in. Alright guys, so this is gonna pretty much conclude this video. Thank you very much for watching. To sum it up, pretty much it's really a lot about movement speed in this game, or not movement speed, but movement in general, and strafing, and you know, you've seen me mention it a bunch throughout this video. So if you can get your movement down properly and avoid getting hit and get in free hits and stuff like that, you'll be doing really good. And just, yeah, practice all the stuff I said in this video and my first video, and you should be at least pretty decent at the game. So thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate you guys checking it out, and yeah, make sure to subscribe and let me know if you want to see more Chivalry content. I'm going to be streaming every weekday at 3 p.m. Pacific, so you can check out my Twitch as well, which will be in the description. And sometimes I'll be playing Chivalry. So Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching very much. Very thank you. And I'll leave you with some funny clips here.